There you go.
All right, welcome to Thursday night of the Guitar Gear Locker. And tonight we actually had Chris from Skeletal Remains scheduled for a guest, but unfortunately we have to move it to another night. We'll keep you guys updated when Chris is on. So if anybody was waiting for Chris, we apologize, and he wasn't able to make it tonight. But like I said, we will be rescheduling an
Yeah,
interview
we'll
with
have
Chris
one soon.
Remains. So we're just kind of I don't know. We decided to come on anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna wing it. We'll do a little short one tonight. So
Yeah.
there's a couple things to talk about. Not that we have a bunch of news, but if anybody has any comments or questions, whatever, they can kick them in, or if they want to chat back and forth. But so and we're getting. I know every week, like leading up. When we get to January, we start leading up to NAMM. It's like, oh, okay, so NAMM's coming up, but man, it's really starting to hit with things that could be coming out now. So
Yeah.
it'll be exciting to see what kind of stuff they. I did get notified today that so I just made a Music Nomad order. Music Nomad's going to be there. A couple other ones hit me up today that they were going to be there because they hit all their dealers and they're like, hey, this is where we're going to be. But yes, I
Mhm.
just I've been it's weird the last couple of years I haven't really sold a lot of these. This year I've sold a lot. The acoustic humidifiers that go in the hole. So sold some of those, just getting ready to run out. So I've made a new order and then I really like their mats. That's what we need to get you too. One of the mats to put down. That's what I used back here. So
Yeah.
Ernie Ball has one, but it's a little too slippery for me. I like the Music Nomad ones or their grip. You've seen this. It's padded. But after working on it, they last me for about 6 months and they get holes in them and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I put a picture up today of your old LTD, the
Mhm.
MK600. That turned out pretty good. He hadn't had a chance to play it. I think he's been out
Yeah.
of
Really
town.
cool.
Yeah, so we did the unlock nut on that and pretty good guitar. Another one, just talking about some stuff I've seen lately. So I had an Edwards in, it just left today. And
Oh, the
Edwards,
one you showed me, right?
oh yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was Edwards. You know what? Maybe I'll talk about it in the next show. I'll show some pictures of it. So it had how do you explain that? It was a SG guitar. It looked like a Gibson SG, matte black, and it had some kind of wonky whammy bar contraption on it. And yeah, he bought it, I think maybe off a reverb, something like that. And the new owner started playing it, and he said, it just won't stay in tune. So, when we kind of talked about it after the show last week, you could see when you work the whammy bar, the whole the saddle system is just going back and forth. And I was like, no wonder it wouldn't stay in tune.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, that turned out pretty good. He put 13s on that, C
Ah.
sharp standard, so right
Okay.
down your alley.
Yep.
And it stayed in tune pretty good. That was a nice guitar. So maybe I'll have
Nice.
some pictures of that because that's something that's kind of an interesting bridge. I don't know who makes it. It was wonky though.
Yeah.
It
Look like it.
Yeah, I don't know why you wanna like, it's a hardtail guitar, I don't wanna know why you wanna mess around and put a what are you
Mhm.
trying to do on a SG? Like, Angus Young didn't whammy or slammy. He didn't do anything. He just he jammied. So, yeah, so, I had that in here, and you wanted to talk about ESP.
Yeah. Well, obviously ESP going to be issuing a bunch of new guitars, and I think there's from what I see, there's going to be more than they've had unleashed in the last couple of years. So I'm
Yeah.
really curious about yeah, the new lineup of 2026. So,
Right.
and it's funny. We were talking about we had the Ibanez on. So I had
Mhm.
we were on the last. I think it was the last show we were on.
The one that you liked a lot?
Yeah, and the Iceman. So I saw a guy that
Right.
got one of them today. It was in some guitar form. He's like, "This just arrived," and I was just like looking at that guitar. I'd like to have that, and it's got a maple neck, which is kind of you don't really see that, on
Right,
an Iceman guitar.
right.
But yeah, it looked really sharp actually.
But
Mm.
you have to wait and see if they're gonna do a Shanker Gibson, though.
Yeah, I guarantee that I will not be buying that guitar if that's what's gonna happen because I'm not.
Oh, a
I,
Shanker Gibson? Oh, you
I
mean if they do the high dollar
yeah,
one?
I can't see us spending $15,000 or
Do you
whatever.
think they would do that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, well,
Gibson, come on, man.
I
Gibson,
don't put anything past them.
you know.
I don't put anything past them, that's for sure.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. So I made a new purchase this week, as we've talked about a little bit.
Mhm.
So we talk a lot about I know. I feel like I'm picking on the guys that are tube amp guys now. I have a tube amp. I'm gonna say that up front. But I feel like I kinda troll them with all these effects every week, and I do it on purpose. So I think everybody kinda realized that by now. But I've always played with the Fractal AX8, the old version, and I did it on purpose. I planned it out that way because, somebody here we go. Let's get some I'll go into this in a second. We'll hit some comments. How many steps would you say you do a week, Roger? How many setups?
Mm.
Oh, whoa, whoa. I was thinking like 300. Oh man, it could vary. So straight, you know what? I almost get giddy when I just get a setup in because lately it's just run the gamut. So it's been a lot of wiring, full wiring, Fishman Fluent systems, things like that. So I average about 20 a week. This week's probably maybe even a little higher than that. So it stays. I am actually very surprised how busy I stay for a small. I mean, it's a home based business. I mean, I'm in a shop in my basement. So actually, I'm in a table right there, and I have another area out there I work in. So yeah, it's been I've done a lot of acoustics lately too. And the
Mhm.
good things is I've had a couple walk-ins this week, and they're usually acoustics, and they're really concerned when they come in. They say, I'm getting a buzz, first, second, and third frets, and it's usually just a truss rod adjustment. You can usually get that and get it rolling out the door. So they're about, I mean, it ranges, but I would say on average, probably 15 to 20, sometimes more. Uh,
Mhm.
any new shapes? I don't know if that's well, I talked about the SG that I had in recently.
Mhm.
Um, what else did I have that was interesting this week? So I'm getting ready to put a set of Fluents in what's the Breaking Benjamin's baritone guitar. So yeah, hold on, let me get to some of these. So it's blasting it out. We're gonna get a couple comments. So we have that. Any new shapes? And then how you doing? Thanks for joining us again. He's with us every week now.
Right.
And hi guys. And I don't put anything. Yeah, the world
So
of
they don't give a case with the studios, huh?
you know what? It used to be the rule. Anything over 1,000 usually had a hard shell case, but I, that's
Yeah,
gone by the wayside now. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be nothing to see a $2,000 studio because we're seeing. I mean, there's a couple $2,000 PRS. There's the Clio and another one, right? Then there's another one that just came out at LTD that's 2,000. Well, 1999, so 2,000.
yeah.
Uh,
I think there's a couple LTDs over 2,000, 2,500.
yeah.
So I
Well, and
think
I think that's where we are now. I mean, the weird thing is you can buy I know we talk about this every week, but it's new people in and out every week. So I've been, it's kind of funny, you can buy a Gibson Les Paul Studio for 2 grand, or you can look on Reverb. I just bought, a couple months ago, that 95. It was in fantastic shape with a case, with
Mhm.
a nice brown case, and that was $800.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's really weird. You can get some really good guitars on the secondhand market.
sure.
So, the new stuff is it just isn't budging, it doesn't seem. But I do see a lot of sales. It seems like, there's a lot of sales that a lot of guitar places are offering right now.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so, Evan, are you gonna get a $2,000 studio? No, I mean, it's a pity that we're there, but that's where we are now, and I think, you can blame whatever you want, but
And you remember if you can get a custom shop guitar for 2,500 some ways back. And
you
now
still find some great deals on the secondhand market. You can find man,
yeah,
somebody told me they bought not a Paul Reed Smith, Gibson Les Paul Standard last week. It was like $1,600.
sure.
So,
Yeah,
they were bidding in an auction for it, and he may be watching, as a matter of fact.
yeah,
And
there's
that's a
a
standard.
lot of great deals out there that I've seen. Lot the used guitar market is really good right now. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the used gear market is really good, and it's one of those like, it's so soft. It's good if you're buying right now. It sucks if you're selling. I have
yeah.
one if anybody's looking for a really nice Charvel, I have it, and he watches also, a customer comes in here. I
Mhm.
have a nice Charvel made in Mexico, has all the FU tone in it, everything, Charvel case, so including the case, it's like $700. You can't beat that with a stick. So
Mhm.
600 for the guitar alone. But I mean, there's just a lot of guitars, but then you go looking on the new market and I have that Kaizen. We talked ad nauseum about the Kaizen. It's the Sterling, and I got that just to see how they play and how they feel. And I have that, maybe I shouldn't say it on, I have that marked down to cost, like what I paid for it.
Mhm.
So, and it's not moving, it's not budging.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, wait a minute. Let's Croces. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go back a little bit.
Hey, Necrosion's back.
It Yeah, it's like it's throwing them in here. Sorry, guys. It's just popping them in here like 10 at a time, it seems. Yeah, we're glad you're with us also. Yeah, and you can speak to this. I mean, he
Right.
knows.
Yeah.
And Buddy got one last week. So here's the thing. I don't know. Ian, you could tell me if I'm wrong. I think this was happening before tariffs. I mean,
Aim
I certainly don't think the tariffs are helping any. But this was happening before the tariffs. And we when we heard about the tariffs, we started talking how astronomically high guitars and gear and all that was going to be,
Mhm.
and it just didn't happen. They just naturally going up. Price sells, who's buying? Yeah, I mean, it sucks to be the seller right now, but it's great to be the buyer. I'll tell you about something I just bought in a couple minutes. Keeping my eyes, you know, it's odd you mentioned that. Haven't found the right one. So we talk about Bernie's and Greco's a lot. So the guy that was in here today with the Edwards SG that I was talking about, I think his next guitar, I think he ordered it, or he found it. He didn't order it. He bought it, I guess, off of Reverb or one of those. It's a Greco. It's an old
Oh,
Greco. Yeah. So he's pretty stoked about that. And I told him we talk about those things all the time on here.
mhm.
How about Gibson Gothic series? Hmm.
Those were cool guitars. I remember them.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Should we look it
That
up?
was maybe 20 something years back, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this, and I'll relate it to something totally ungear related or unguitar related here in a minute, or unrelated to guitars. It was happening before the tariffs. Before the tariffs, they blamed COVID. And it wasn't only so before I did this, I was building fire trucks. I wasn't building them, I was helping design fire trucks. And they were in the fire truck world, we couldn't buy a fire truck. Like, I've been retired 2 years, and they're still waiting on fire trucks that I ordered before I left, and I ordered them a year before I left. So
Mhm.
and they were saying COVID, and they were saying tariffs, they're saying all the same stuff, but this was all this stuff, I don't care if it was a fire truck or a guitar, it was happening before the tariffs.
Mhm. Yeah.
I could be wrong, that's my non-professional
I think you're
opinion.
right.
I could be onto something. Stuff was going on, yep, before tariffs seemed to accelerate. Yeah, and I think some of that Ian, do you think some of that is panic? I have a buddy with solar endorsement and the tariffs almost yeah, so especially if you're yeah, on the import stuff, I think it's destroying some of those companies because it's making some of those low-end guitars pretty expensive now.
Yeah.
But then I think that's it's kind of the design of it, right? So it I think that's them when I say them, the government, the they that run the world. You know, when we're
Right.
talking offline, I always call the they.
Yeah.
They. I don't know who they are, but they running stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's their design is to make it you know, not very attractive to buy stuff coming in and buying stuff that's made here.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the stuff that's made here, they're
Yeah.
stupid. They're going up like crazy on prices. So, yeah, very interesting. Um, what Gibson Gothic series, did you want me to pull one of those up?
Sure.
You were talking about it. You can talk for a second. I've been running my mouth. I have to type.
Uh, yes, I could be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure this Gothic series came out 20 plus years ago, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And I remember the Gothic V, the Les Paul, which I think yeah, the Les Paul was kind of like studio vibe, you know,
Yeah,
guitar.
I
I guess.
think I'm just gonna share this page up. Your screen. Yes, I do
So
talk
maybe
to myself all the time when I do this.
are they
This stuff here?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if it'll hang with it. Nope. Went to it. I hate
I
that.
mean, it's kind of like like it's kind of like this vibe. I guess it's kind of like, you know, ESP, the LTDs, like they did the black metal series
Oh,
and
yeah. Uh-huh.
kind of like kind of that vibe. Black on
Right,
black.
right.
None none more black.
Yeah. Oh, wait, let's see if this will that's a little better, right? There you go.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's not
I played a Gothic V. It was good guitar.
I have to tell you that, the Edwards I just had in here looked a lot like that, except for
Yeah,
the hardware. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little older because you could definitely tell where somebody's, sweat kind of the acid in it got to the pickup covers.
mhm,
Nice guitar. I like
yeah,
it.
mhm.
Alright, so I'm glad Ian's here because we can ask his opinion. Alright, so let me remove this. Alright, Ian, if you're still watching, so we kinda scratched the surface a couple minutes ago. We're already longer than we thought we were gonna be on here. Um, alright, so with, um, let's see, with fractals, with the new Fender system, quad cortex and all that, if you were to use a powered speaker that would sound the closest to an amp, would it be the Fender or the Tone X, do you think? Just your opinion. So, and then I started saying this earlier. I saw some comments. Let me make sure the comments are good. Hello from Brazil. Thanks for
Hello?
joining us. And it dumped. ESP is doing a direct promo for 2026 on YouTube. Yeah, we were talking about Megadeth is doing a QA Saturday on YouTube. They're nice. Came out. Oh yeah, the Gothic series.
Yeah.
It's
Wonder what's
kind of
going
weird. I don't know why, but our YouTube is holding all the comments and just like bursting them out. All right, so I was talking about the quad cortex. I was talking about it last year during NAMM. Remember, I almost pulled the trigger. Then I didn't realize that I realized I didn't need that aggravation in my life. For cabinets, both are really good. In my opinion, the Laney
Hmm.
by a mile.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I'll have to remember that one. By a mile. All right, so let me talk about pushing air. Pushing air. So do they push air? So I mean, is it in the neighborhood of an amp, like a real tube amp? So, and here's the reason I'm asking. So last year I was talking about the quad cortex, realized that, I didn't need that. It's just too much aggravation. I had the Fractal AX8, and then I had a customer, I talked about it last week. Customer brought in the Fender Tone Master and showed me his setup and how easy it is. So I did what we do, and I went to Facebook Marketplace, and somebody who I've had some dealings with, a nice guy that lives in the north part of our county, had one for 1,000, and I think he just upgraded. He probably just went to the new Helix, I would assume. I don't know that for a fact, but he had the Fender Tone Master at a good price, and I offered him an offer on it, and he took it, so I got a great deal on it. And I've messed with it like 3 nights now, and I really like it a lot.
Mhm.
Guthrie Grover runs 2 of the powered 112s. They make 240. Whoa!
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I didn't know about that one. I've been comparing the other 2 because everybody last week we were even talking about the Tone X. So I'll share it up. I've gotten to mess with it 3 nights now. Just briefly tonight. Yeah, I'll talk about IK Multimedia here in a second. I saw that comment just pop up. So for those of you that aren't familiar, this is what I'm talking about. I'll show this comment up here. I use IK Multimedia into a Tone X, into a USA-made PV. Yeah, somebody else told me they do the same thing, and it works really well. So this is what I was talking about, the Tone Master. I messed with it 3 nights, kind of got in the weeds a little bit the first night, and maybe the second night I got to play more. But it's definitely, as you can see, and you can't see my cursor again, that sucks. So if you look at the screen on there, you can see the pedal chain, if you will. And those are all inside of it. You can download other things. You can download patches and all that. Tim Pierce has some patches in there. Steve Stevens. Tonight, I of course, you know me. I'm loading up with Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrix and Pink Floyd and all that kind of stuff. So Metallica, loading up with all that kind of stuff. But it all looks like this, and then you can kind of lay out your buttons, if you will. But the buttons are also knobs. So you can use it. Like I have mine on a desk right now. I don't have it on the floor because I'm just kind of getting used to it. But it's all like drag and drop. You literally like hit your finger and drag it where you want it in the chain. And then when you click on, say, a pedal, or the cabinet, what have you, when there's knobs on there, the knobs correspond to the foot switches, which are knobs. You can turn them like a knob. So very, very straightforward. I found a couple patches tonight while I was playing that are really good. I like it a lot so far. Now, I was only playing it through monitors tonight. Um, I hear they sound better through the powered speaker,
Mhm.
that I was talking about. But I tried them the other night through, I have the Headrush FRFRs. I have 2 of those. And it could have been the patch, and it could have been that it was the first night I was using it. Sound a little muffled, but sometimes those patches do on those. But in 1679 is not anywhere near. and I put it up on Sweetwater site. Um, so I got it for 850. So there's deals to be had out there. And I saw one in DC last week. It wasn't this was in great condition. This was like brand new. There was one in DC on Facebook Marketplace that was like 700 last week. Then there was
Mhm.
another one for 1100. So you can get some good deals secondhand. It goes back to it's good to be buying secondhand, not selling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that was and it kind of all worked out. It's kind of cool. Like every once in a while, you do these trades, trade up, trade down, trade around kind of thing. And, sometimes you come out even. So I had a customer coming in here. We were doing something with his guitar and he saw it up on the bar. I plugged it in, saw it up, my old Fractal, my AX8 sitting on the bar out here. So I plugged it up. He was out there jamming with it for a while. And that night I got a text. He goes, I'll buy that. So sold that, sold something else. And I came out like $50 to the good. So not too bad.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Yeah, it's all good when a plan comes together, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm kind of and it look, I know people are gonna, poo-poo this or whatever, because they're not into these. I like my EV8 Stealth. It's kind of the ironic thing is when I turn this on, the preset that popped up was my amp, my tube
Right.
amp. It was the Stealth 50 watt, with the pedal chain on it and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of funny that that one came up, but yeah. So it's like I said, for guys like me, I know a lot of guys gigging with these and they love them, but for me, like I can sit there and flip that little knob around and get to if it's AC/DC. Last night, I found a Smashing Pumpkins one. What was it called? It's called Pumpkin Smasher. So it had a big muff in there and all that. So I just messed with that a little bit. It had a little too much muff on it, but it was close.
Mhm.
So, let's see, 1,500 is too much when you get a head and cab. Be happy for that price. Yeah. Go back to Marshall pedals. Yeah, I agree. And it's like I said, I have a tube amp too, but man, there's more times for me and a person like me where I just want to push a button play. I don't want to fire everything up. It's just too much.
Yeah.
After I've been messing with guitars literally all day.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and this week it has been like 8+ hour days messing with guitars, fixing them, repairing them. And then when I sit down and play, I don't want to sit around and tinker around with knobs and stuff. So I just push buttons. I'm good with that. Not like I'm gigging. Nobody's listening. My wife isn't complaining.
But that Fender is easy to dial in, though, right? Like, how would you compare it to, say, like a Kemper or something like that?
You know what? I've never used a Kemper. I
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
Yeah. So, and these are, I know a couple guys that are gigging with these, and they like them a lot
Yeah,
because they can carry them in on their back.
yeah.
One carries it in a backpack, other one carries it in a case.
Mhm.
But yeah, as far as like, I did mess around with it a little bit, trying to just see how the adjustments go. I bet you I haven't used this like a combined in 3 nights because the phone kept ringing, I told you tonight. So,
Yeah,
a combined 2.5 hours, 3 hours is all I've gotten to mess with it because
mhm.
I've just been slammed. But, when you pull up the head unit and try to, like, dial it in, it's pretty easy because those switches that you see there, they look like switches, but like I said, they're knobs also. They
Mhm.
correspond with what you're like, when you zoom into the head unit, it's just the head unit you're looking at with the knobs, and those knobs there correspond with the knobs on the head unit. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty easy. I need easy at this point in my life.
yeah.
Mm,
Me too.
I probably needed easy my whole life. But, yeah, so that was, the only reason we talked about that is, we had a change of plans tonight, and you and I were talking about this before we went live tonight. They often use the Quad Cortex Helix Tone Master, but I advise them to use modulation effects. Oh, and effects loop. Right, right. Yeah, I had. you know what? I think there's so I see a lot of guys, and you can kind of tell when, especially if you're looking at marketplace, you can look at what people have sold before, and I can tell that there's a couple guys out there that have been through the quad cortex, through the FM9, through
Mhm.
this, and they're on the next thing is the Helix, and I it's just too much for me to keep up with all that shit, to tell you the truth. Um, this is because modulation effects are specifically built to manipulate our hearing, unlike distortion and overdrive, right?
Mhm.
That's what he said. And if you're aiming for that powerful guitar like Foster and Divide by Immolation, the only way to achieve it is with a tube amp. We're gonna try that. We're gonna try that in a couple weeks, aren't we?
Mhm. Yeah. Before I leave. Yeah.
Before he leaves, and we have to talk about that before we leave tonight. Before you leave to go to Europe, we're gonna have a cab here, a powered cab, and we'll try this. We'll set
Yeah.
up your rig in it and see how it sounds,
Sure. Yeah.
and we'll
Sounds
record it.
it'll be fun.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it isn't gonna sound exactly like, but it'll be close, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Maybe?
We'll
I
see.
don't hell, I don't know. What the hell am
I'm
I?
I'm curious. Well, A/B it with your stealth, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the good thing is they're sitting right next to each other, so we can just go back and forth. I mean, we
Yeah.
can do whatever we want. We can do whatever we want, Alex.
Yeah. We do what we want.
We do what we wanna do. We
Yeah.
don't get bossed by anybody but our wives.
Yeah. So true.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, we're still
We can do anything we want that they tell us we can do.
yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
so before we roll out, your big announcements. Now you
Uh,
can talk about it.
oh, well, we got, obviously, anybody that follows my band, Immolation, we have a tour coming up with Mayhem and Marduk through Europe all through February, and that starts, I believe, on February 5th, I think, in the Netherlands, I think. And then I think was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. The Behemoth tour we're doing, the Godless Four tour, as it's called. Behemoth, Deicide, Riding Christ, and us across the U.S. and I think a couple shows in Canada, maybe on the East Coast of Canada.
Mhm.
So that's going to be, this has been in the works for a long time, actually, this tour. So finally it's unleashed and it's finally happening. And it's a super solid tour. You don't want to miss it if you're here in the States. And same thing in Europe. I think it's
Right.
equally super strong package with Mayhem, Marduk, and us. So yeah, pretty excited about both these tours.
Yeah.
They're going really well. And I really like the package of the mix of bands and and all the bands are all great people and so yeah, this is going to be a good one. So
Right. And we
uh,
talked about we're gonna for those of you watching and that watch every week, we're gonna try to do well, we aren't, you're going to. I'm not gonna be in Europe. But we're gonna try to get our heads together on some things. So,
mhm.
some kind of behind the scenes things over there. Maybe you can show some rigs and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I
Like
love
you
doing
can do that over there, and maybe I can edit it and put it up over here.
absolutely. Yeah, we'll
And
we'll make that happen. You know.
yeah, and meanwhile, back at the ranch, we'll still be doing hopefully every week shows. Jeremy, we talked to him. He's probably going to fill in. We have a couple other people that may fill in. So we'll
Mhm.
have some stuff. So yeah, it'll be cool. Keep
Yeah.
rolling.
Yep.
So yeah, you'll have a busy year next year. It's gonna be
Or this year.
this year. I keep saying next year. Oh my
All right.
god, you got me on that last week too.
Don't worry, I'm still doing it myself.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, time flies when you're having fun. That's for sure. I like it every time. Every time I turn around, it's like Friday again. Which, if you're in my shoes, you don't like Fridays because the working people are home all weekend.
Mhm.
You're like, go back to work. I can't wait for Sunday.
Yeah.
Iggy say cool, and then he went ka-ching. I did the sound effect for you.
Yeah.
Immolation is doing amazing tours this year. Yeah, absolutely. Big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah. I hope to see you, Ian. I can't remember if we're rolling through your way, but yeah. But if you
Yep.
want to make it on out, just give me a heads up, and I'll take care of you. So
Yeah. Yep. All right. If nobody has anything else, we're gonna. We were only
yeah,
gonna do 15 minutes. We can do 35 without even trying.
it's non-scripted, you know.
Yeah, yeah. This was just
But yeah,
we'll be back
unfortunately,
with them.
it was like kind of last minute thing where Chris wasn't able to make it on tonight. But we will have Chris from Skeletal Remains. We're going to reschedule.
Yep.
Figure out what's best for everybody to do.
Yeah, and while you're gone, you forgot to tell the big news. We're gonna have David Coverdale, just him and I, one week.
Yeah, David.
That ain't happening.
He's gonna have David Coverdale and Yngwie Malmsteen on together.
If those two are on the screen, it's gonna look like this. I'm not gonna be in it. It's gonna be Yngwie Malmsteen.
One of these days, I'm gonna convert Roger to Yngwie. He's gonna recognize the greatness of Yngwie J. Malmsteen. So come on, man. The first 3 records, especially, you gotta listen to them. You know?
No, I can't make it. I can't make it. Can't do it.
Not even David Coverdale with Deep Purple.
I'd rather listen to Taylor Swift, and I'm not even joking.
Deep Purple Burn. You can't give that out.
David Coverdale and either one of them. I'd rather listen to Katy Perry and Taylor Swift than either one of them. That's how much I dislike both of them. And I don't like the other two either. but I mean, at least they're all right to look at. There's some logic behind it. Anyways. All right. You ready? You good? Anybody have anything else? Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't have oh, wait a minute. There's a couple. Good luck, Alex, and Immolation on tour. Oh, nice.
Oh, Indonesia. Oh, wow, yeah. Oh, I remember that show. 2019.
He joins us. Man, that's awesome that he joins us all the way from Indonesia every week. And Iggy can't let me live down the pink guitar. The pink guitar was cool. I sure must be cranking down off. Yeah, right. I a little bit of everything with me.
I corrupted Roger. You know, he's been corrupted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I get into a little bit of everything. Well, we talked today. You know, I try to not listen to only old music. So I listen to like radio stations so I can hear the new stuff that's out. It's not death metal, it's just rock, you know.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in 1971 somewhere. I don't know why. Can't get out of 71, 75, 68.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Here you go. Yes.
Bring back
Dead Kennedys all the way.
Dead a long time. Let me tell you, that stuff they call punk. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, yeah. Sex Pistols, Dead Kennedys.
Oh, so
yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining in our little 38-minute show here, and we hope we entertain you a little bit. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you. One more comment. Sister Hannah had a green Johnson. That would be mine someday. Come up with a small. Oh, there you go.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have something announced for when we're going to do the redo, but we'll be on next Thursday. It'll either be next Thursday or Saturday. Somebody wanted us to be on Saturday. Yeah. So it'll be next Thursday or Saturday. We'll have the redo. So all right. Peace out, everybody. Subscribe. Thanks for joining us.